Hey everybody, it's Angela, and I am back to do another mini album today. And I was approached by Kim Murray of Salty Beach Scrappers, and she has a new digital Christmas kit called The Beauty of Christmas. And she asked me if I wanted to design with it, and I said I would love to. So I downloaded the kit, and it has 12 by 12 papers. It has this envelope you see me cutting out here. You can see those cut apart cards, embellishments, tags. It's just full of a lot of things. And like I said, I'm going to use it to make a little mini album. So I have resized my papers down a little smaller to fit the size of the mini album that I'm going to use. I'm also taking this distress ink in the tea dye, and I am inking all the edges on here. And then also with the papers, I will round all the corners of everything when I ink it. So here you can see I'm scoring the envelope to do that, and I wanted to include an envelope in the mini album. I thought it would be a great place if you had kids that were doing letters to Santa. That would be a great place to store those, and it's really cute, and it has the envelope liner, which I will put in there later, and it has lined papers to go in the envelope. So I thought that was cool as well. So you could make this a whole stationery kit if you wanted to, and print out as many copies as you need. And so I'm just going to go ahead and include a lined piece of paper in that envelope. And you can see there I printed out my embellishments at 2 different sizes. There's my cut apart sheets, and like I said, I resized my papers to fit on this little Michael's mini album, and I rounded the corners and inked the edges. And I just love that. I love the fact that I could make as many of these as I wanted. I can resize it for whatever mini album. If you want to just use some, recycled cardboard, like cereal box cardboard, to make a mini album and cover it with this paper, you can do that. So having a digital kit is sometimes, really cool, just the things that you can do with it, and you don't feel like you have to treasure each piece of paper. I can always just print out another one. And I printed this out on just normal copy paper that it's not the cheapest copy paper, but it's not like expensive presentation paper either. So it just goes to show you don't need a special kind of cardstock or paper to use a digital kit. And then on these embellishments, I love the poinsettias, and I had printed them out in 2 different sizes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put foam on the smaller one and stack it on the larger to give me a dimensional embellishment. And usually we pay big bucks for all the layered embellishments and stuff, so it's kind of nice to just be able to make it yourself. And then I'm just going to take some stickles and kind of go around some of the leaf edges and give it that little bit of sparkle so it really looks professional. And like I said, this is regular copy paper. Now the stickles does make the edges of the paper curl up just a tiny bit, but I actually like that because it lends a little bit more dimension and realism to the poinsettias. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And then there are some roses in here as well that I'm going to fussy cut out and put stickles around that to give those a little sparkle. So I'm just going to set these aside to dry, and I just love the way they look. This kit is beautiful because it has the traditional colors in there of the red and the green, but it also adds in pinks and blues, and so it's a real soft kind of romantic feel to it. And then one of the papers in the mini album has this image on it, so I'm cutting this out. I printed another one, and I'm cutting it out, and I'm going to put that up on foam tape and put it on the paper again to give a little bit of dimension. And you'll see that. I'll go ahead and put some fun foam on the back there. I'm going to use a little bit of stickles on the rose. And in order to give it even more dimension, I'm going to cut out some foliage. See, here you go. If I put that on top, it just really, gives that whole page a 3D feel. And then the rest of this page, I'm going to use to cut out some just greenery fronds to also kind of put behind those envelopes, again to just bring more texture to that page. And once I printed them out, of course they're exactly the same color as that background paper. So I'm just going to take my tea dye ink and just kind of put a little bit here and there. I mean, I'm not going to, get too specific of just going on the edges or anything like that. I'm just going to put a little color on just so they pop out from that background paper. So I really love being able to do something like this. And I want to go on each page and do something special to give it some texture or interest. But I also want to leave enough room so that, the matted photo can be placed on the page as well when someone puts photos in this. I haven't decided if I'm going to gift this or if I'm going to fill it up myself, so I haven't quite decided that. So here I am, I'm just going to tack down this foliage a few spots. And then over the top of those envelopes, I'm going to put my second copy of it. Oh, and I do grab some pink glitter glue and put it on some of that foliage where there were some berries. So I'm just kind of highlighting the berries with the pink glitter. It's pretty subtle, but it does add, an extra little shine to that page. And there we go. I'm just going to put the envelope. So I really like how this page turned out. There's interest and texture, but plenty of room to put photos on there. Now on the front, I'm going to use these K & Company poinsettias in white to go along with the ones that I made out of the collection in red there. And then I'm also using these gold puffy thickers, and I'm just use that for the title of my album, and then for a few pieces of leaves and stuff just kind of sticking out to give a little bit more gold flair to the front of the album. And I'm going to use those throughout the whole album. So on the binder ring I put some silver and gold bells that hang down along with a nice bright red bow. So I'm really liking that. It brings some of that gold puffy stickers gold in there. So pretty simple, and you can see all the glitter to that. And then I used the cut apart cards to make some little pockets throughout the mini album. And then behind the pocket I just matted a piece of the paper that I printed out, and there's one of the tags out of the collection, and I just put a little bit of red and white baker's twine in there, and then just a photo mat for extra photos there. On this page I just put some of the K & Company bird and poinsettias and a little bit of the gold thickers there. On this page I put one of the poinsettias from the collection along with a rose, and I lifted those up on foam tape. There's some of the gold thickers, and then I printed out an extra cardinal and put that on there as well. On this side, another tag from the collection and another piece of the matted paper with a little pocket there wishing you a Merry Christmas. Over here again, another mat and a tag, another one of the cut apart cards with some of the gold thickers on it. Beautiful colors, and they all go so well together. Very soft. It could be just for winter time. It doesn't necessarily have to be for Christmas Day. It could be for just the holiday season. And here's the envelope where I put the liner in it. I put a matted card, the lined paper, and then I also made that little closure with some of a scrap of the cardstock that I used to mat the cut apart cards on. A little bit more of that baker's twine to close it. There's another cut apart card that I matted there. This one I did a second printout, and you can see to lift up that lantern, and I did a second printout of that wreath too. So that wreath is kind of stacked. You can see that it's actually on the paper below it, and I've just printed out a second one and put it on top to make a pocket. one of the K & Company poinsettias there with some of the gold thickers, and then a matted cut apart card. On this page you saw me make this one with all the dimension. I added a gold thicker heart on there, and I just love all the foliage on there. Lots of texture, beautiful blues. And then this one, I used one of the roses from the embellishment sheet and put some thickers on it, or some stickles on it, and some of the gold thickers. And then that is my completed album, and I really loved working with this kit. I mean, it gives you a lot of versatility, and I can use this over and over again, so it's something I can, you know, keep in my stash. So that is the finished album. If you guys have any questions or anything, just leave me a comment down below, and I will put a link to Salty Beach Scrappers down in the description below, so you can go over to her Etsy shop and check out the collection. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.